Houstonians at this hour facing a fifth night in the dark after Beryl pummeled our region.
Tonight, we meet the faces of people keeping hope alive. We ask why this keeps happening in Houston and what it will take to prevent this from happening again. CenterPoint now says it will restore power to 80% of customers by Sunday night, but that will still leave hundreds of thousands of Houstonians in the dark.
Today, CenterPoint explained why it could still be days before power is restored.
Remaining customers are going to be the hardest hit customers that have trees down, that it's not a quick fix. And we just ask for their continued patience.
Is not a lot of patience. Tonight, people and politicians are calling for accountability.
Investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes joins us live now with how the company's messaging is falling flat for so many Houstonians. Cheryl?
Hey, Trace and Mia. Yeah, CenterPoint is quick to point to the numbers. About 1.4 million customers restored, more than 12,000 workers on the job, another 1,000 coming in today. However, CenterPoint is also talking at the PUC meeting yesterday about how never in the history of its company has it ever responded so quickly to so many customers after a disaster. But for those who are still out here sweating it out, those messages are a slap in the face.
In the first 48 hours, we restored nearly half of our customers.
On the CenterPoint website, this is the message from CEO Jason Wells.
We have worked tirelessly since that storm made its way through our system, restoring customers.
Tell that to Tracy Vaughn.
Oh my God.
Who has been living in her SUV with her cat and dog since Monday morning.
It's heartbreaking.
Vaughn's has been circling her neighborhood looking for ice to salvage the little food she has left. She says during the May derecho, she lost power for 7 days. Her food perished. Today was no different.
Like some of this stuff I'm gonna have to probably go ahead and throw away. I'll just throw my food away. Once again, it's...
As of Friday afternoon, CenterPoint's outage tracker gave no estimated restoration time for Vaughn's neighborhood. The company said it simply could not provide one for everyone.
What we're seeing, though, where we are in this stage of restoration is more extensive damage, more extensive work.
Are you serious? How many days is this gonna be again? He needs to be fired. Or like, dude, help the citizens of Houston. There's no reason why any of us should be like this.
It's worrisome for Vaughn's and others who are now questioning whether CenterPoint is prepared for what might come next.
You know hurricane season. You know how Houston is on hurricane season. Make arrangements.
5 days after Beryl, Vaughn's is relying on the kindness of her daughter, who now has power.
Yeah, I need to get a couple change of clothes. I don't know how long I'll be.
I asked to speak with CenterPoint CEO today. The company responded late this afternoon saying, quote, due to our continued focus on our hurricane restoration efforts, we are unable to accommodate your request, end quote. Meanwhile, there are plenty of people, including acting Governor Dan Patrick, who are calling for CenterPoint to be held accountable for its response. Trayson?
Well, you have to feel for that woman and her entire family. Cheryl, thank you so much. All right, the phrase political power is taking on a new meaning tonight as everyone from the lieutenant governor to lawmakers to local leaders weighing in on CenterPoint's response. We asked our KHOU 11 energy expert Ed Hers to give CenterPoint a letter grade on its response to Beryl, but he says our problems go beyond just CenterPoint's response.
I'd give them a C+. Sure. And I think that's probably about right. They would give themselves that grade. Playing the blame game is ridiculous at this point because there's plenty of blame to go around. CenterPoint is a regulated monopoly in the Houston service area.
He adds it's up to Mayor Whitmire, Judge Hidalgo, the legislature, the governor, as well as his appointed Public Utility Commission to make sure CenterPoint learns from this storm. He said there are certain things the utility can do to prevent another disaster like this, including replacing aging wooden power poles with stronger utility poles, as well as burying some power lines. But he says leaders must hold them accountable.
The power is off, but tonight customers are calling KHOU 11 News for help because their accounts online showed them using electricity. Consumer investigative reporter Grace White is here to explain exactly what's going on. Grace?
We've been getting calls from customers all over Houston, and it's not just one specific company. What's happening is when customers look at their accounts online, it looks like their power is on, but it's not.
Richard Smith is on day 5 without power.
I'm really kind of wondering what CenterPoint is doing insofar as restoration is concerned.
He's off 290 in Antoine and lost power Monday. But when Smith checked his account online, something looked off.
This is Tuesday, despite power loss Monday 10 a.m. This is your Tuesday, 7/9.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on?
It shows Tuesday his power was on, even though it wasn't.
There will be errors, maybe honest errors, but there will be some.
Dan Parsons with the BBB says customers should pay close attention in the days following a storm. And if you're not getting a response from your electric provider, don't give up.
So you sometimes maybe have to layer your complaint to the BBB, to the Texas Attorney General, to the PUC if it's not getting resolved.
We asked CenterPoint, what's going on? They told us in a statement, during this time, we may initially estimate usage using historical data if we can't communicate with meters during outages. Once we have information from the meters, we do update the usage sent to the retail electric providers, who should provide billing adjustments based on actual usage. Richard Smith just hopes it will be fixed before he's charged.
Are you billing me for this? Are you going to come back later and erase it and correct the information?
Information customers depend on, so they aren't left in the dark about the amount of electricity they're using. Grace White, KHOU 11 News.